Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll give everyone a few minutes to sign on and get ready, and we'll get started. See people signing on. We're going to do two different parts of our webinar today. The first part is going to be Galen Mook, who is the director of MassBike, showing us how to get our bikes ready for riding in the spring. And then the second part will be Rob Blase with bike trivia with prizes. And in between, we're going to do a prize wheel with 3 random drawings for $10 Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. Give it about 1 more minute. Get everybody on. I see the people logging on. I did put over in the chat when it becomes time for transportation trivia, bike trivia, sorry, how to log on. Crowd.live, and the room code is FZCF9. It's in the chat. We can get to that when it's time for trivia. Good, I think we got a bunch of people here, so let's get started. Good afternoon. I am very excited to welcome you to our Bike Bonanza in celebration of National Bike to Work Month. My name is Julie Quinn, and assisting me with today's webinar are Sophia Gallimore, Melissa Zampatella, and Lexi Santiago. This webinar is brought to you by Transaction Associates, our private clients, and the Transportation Management Associations, or TMAs, that we manage. We are a full-service transportation company that offers commuting options, benefits, and promotes green commutes. Today's webinar is all about biking. We'll begin with Galen Mook, director of MassBikes, who will be showing you things to do to get your bike ready for riding, followed by DJ Rob Blase from SMRT TV, Smart TV, who will once again entertain us with bike trivia, finishing with a $50 prize for the winner. In addition, we'll have 3 random prize wheel drawings for $10 Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. If you have any questions for Galen during his session, please submit them in the question taskbar on the bottom of your screen. We'll get to as many questions as time allows. This session will also be recorded. So with that, let me turn it over to Galen so he can share his passion of biking with all of us. All you, Galen.
Excellent. Thank you. And thanks to the whole team. It's great to be back with Transaction. I should say that we have been partnering for years to promote better biking, to get folks getting to and from the office, but then also these days just generally riding around the neighborhood. Because as you can see, I am not in my downtown office for MassBike, but I'm actually in my front sunroom. And I figured, well, this is a perfect location to go through a little bit of the bike maintenance, which is what we're going to be covering today. I should also remind everybody that May is Bay State Bike Month, along with National Bike Month. And this week in particular, from the 16th to the 20th, is the Bike to Work Week, which is culminating on Friday, which is tomorrow, for National Bike to Work Day. So anybody who is encouraged to go out and ride, check in with MassBike on our social media, or really any of your local bike and ped groups who are supporting all of the great biking. And this is the encouragement aspect of getting out and riding this early in the season. I should also mention that MassBike does do advocacy on a state level, which means that we handle the big, broad picture, 35,000-foot view of legislation, funding mechanisms, policies that make their way from the federal to the state to the local levels. And if you're interested in some of the work that we're doing around infrastructure or road safety efforts, or even stuff around electric bicycles, you can go to massbike.org. You can check out some of our work under our work tab. You can become a member, you can support the organization, or really just plug in with what MassBike is up to. And I highly recommend that you sign up for our newsletters, because we do about bi-monthly regular updates as to what's going on locally and around the state. So with that, I have been at MassBike for about 4 years now, and one of my favorite things to do, even though we do a lot of broad advocacy, is help individual riders with their daily riding. My encouragement is that we need to get out and think about everyday riding. One great statistic that I do like to quote from Mass DOT is that 80% of trips in Massachusetts that are taken by car are under 5 miles, under 5-mile trips. That's about a half an hour bike ride at a casual pace. So if we can start to replace some of these car trips with bike trips, we're going to be reducing greenhouse gas emissions, we're going to be reducing congestion on our roadways, and we're going to be increasing our health, our wellness, our general well-being, our connectedness to our community. So this is my encouragement to say, okay, let's try to think about where we can add in biking to our lives. But there's a lot to learn, to do, to know if you're unfamiliar with riding or getting back on the saddle after a while. We have lots of webinars on our website. We've done lots of webinars with Transaction, but the idea today is we're going to do a brief 10-minute, if that, recap of maintenance to make sure that your bike is in working order. Because though there's lots of laws and regulations and responsibilities that you're going to need to know when you're riding, one of the most essential things you cannot forget about is, how is my bike? So today, very briefly, we're going to be covering the ABCs of bike maintenance. And there will be a quiz after this, so take notes if you're so inclined. But the ABCs of bike maintenance stands for air, brakes, and chain. Very basics. And by that, I mean you have to make sure that you have air in your tires, that your brakes are functional and will stop you quickly, and that your chain can rotate, can move. It's not rusted shut. It's not going to slip off the gears, because that is the go of the bike. But if you don't have the A, the B, or the C, the air, the brakes, the chain, your bike can't ride and you are not going anywhere. So I'm going to briefly demonstrate the ABC check, and then I'm going to break it down really quickly. And then again, if you have any questions, please feel free to utilize the chat. I'm not going to be paying attention. So, Julie, Sophia, Melissa, anybody out there, feel free to interrupt at any time as well. Cool. Questions? Great. We're just going to fly right on through. So again, welcome to my sun porch. And this is going to be a little weird because I only have a small little camera. I'm going to be moving the camera around. This is much better done in person. So I long for the days when we can be back together in real life. But that said, we'll take it as we can. So this is my general commuter bike. And by that, I mean, it's got the basket, it's got the fenders, it's got a lot of multiple gears. So there's like a little bit more I need to be paying attention to make sure everything's in working order. But at least for the air, brakes, chain, the A, I'm just going to be squeezing my tires and making sure that they feel nice and hard. And basically give it a nice squeeze. It should feel a little bit squishy, but it should feel like basically I'm not getting a lot of pinch in there. If I get a pinch in there, and I can really squeeze the rubber, I need to put air in my tires. We'll go to that in a second. But how many wheels do I have? 2. So I'm going to check both tires. So check the front. I will also check the back, and really it's just a squeeze. Easy peasy. The B for brakes. Now, the brakes on this bike, I have rim brakes. They are right here on the wheel. I'll show you a little bit coming on in. These are my brakes, getting around the light. And when I squeeze the brake lever up top, I'm going to make sure that my brakes are activated and that they're moving, and that when I squeeze the lever here, that I don't pull my brake lever all the way into my handlebars, because if I do that, then I don't really have good brakes. So I'm going to be squeezing my brakes, making sure the brake levers lock out and that they're functional. And then because I have 2 brakes, I'm going to be doing the front and the back, and I'm going to be rocking my bike back and forth and making sure it's not going anywhere. If it goes somewhere, I need to adjust the brakes. I need to fix them. I want to make sure that my brakes are solid before I'm halfway down the hill and I don't realize that I can't stop. That's the B. Very simple. Squeeze the brakes, both of them, rock the bike. Bike doesn't go anywhere, you're in good shape. And then C is the chain. Now the chain on this bike, I have a front chain ring in the front there, and a whole rear cog and a bunch of rear cassettes. So I'm going to be making sure that the chain is functional. One of the easiest ways to do it is to kind of just pedal backwards and making sure that there's no skipping around. If I'm in the wrong gear, what's going to happen when I pedal backwards is my chain's going to hop around and skip around. It's going to sound like it's out of track. The way to fix that, really, it's super easy. I just pick up my rear wheel. Let me adjust this. Pick up my rear wheel and pedal forwards. And if I'm in a bad gear, my gears will really just reset themselves. So it's very simple. I just kind of pick up my back and I just pedal forwards. And if my rear wheel moves, that's all. I'm in good stead. Again, for the ABC check, air brakes chain, I'm just going to demonstrate it from a little bit of a distance and show you just how quick I can do this. I want everybody to count how many seconds it takes me to do my ABC check. Really, just like ready, go. Okay. Squeeze a tire here, squeeze a tire here, squeeze my brakes, rock my bike, doing good. Lift up my back, give it a good pedal stroke. All right, that's that. How long did it take? Anybody count?
Less-
10 seconds?
Less than 30 seconds. Galen.
Less than 30, I'll take
seconds.
it. Thank you, Julie. Less than 30 seconds to make sure my ABCs are in good stead. Now, if I had a flat tire and I squeezed my tire and I couldn't go anywhere, it's gonna take me more than 30 seconds to fix it. If I don't have brakes and I'm halfway down the hill and I crash, it's gonna take me a lot more than 30 seconds to pick myself off the side of the road or off the sidewalk. And if my chain is dropped or if my chain snaps because it's in the wrong gear and I'm sitting and I break my chain, it's gonna take me a lot longer than 30 seconds to fix it. So do this preventative check literally every time before you ride. Again, squeeze, squeeze, do the B, nice and squeeze, and then a nice little check. Easy peasy, that's all it is. Okay, I've got a few minutes left, so I'm gonna break it down just a little bit, just so we're on the same page. Honestly, this is an hour-long webinar that I could do, that I have done with transaction. I'll probably end up doing again, but let's just do the real brief 3-minute version. So how do you know how much air you should have in your tires? Well, every tire will actually have printed on the side, see if I can find it. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to get it to you, but right here on the edge of the tire, kind of like printed and embossed, it'll tell you inflation pressure. This one says inflate to, all the way there it says, well, where my finger is, almost see it, 65 PSI. Kind of see it. It's really hard to see, especially if your tires are old. So do a good inspection on the tires and know what the inflation pressure should be. Now, how do I know what I'm at? Well, I've got a pump. My pump has a gauge on it. This is my gauge. I trust my gauge. I know what I'm going to do. If you don't know how to pump up your tires, that's totally fine. Go to a bike shop. They will teach you. And this is something that you are responsible for, pumping up your own tires. I'm sorry, mechanics are there for the big things, but something like putting a pump head on a nozzle, super easy. You should be able to do it. So this is my tester here. This is a piece of a tube, just to demonstrate how I put my pump head on. Then I'll open it up and then I'll be pumping. So I'll do that here. Let me see if I can do it in the frame. Spin up here. You can see my valve. I'm going to put it fairly directly on. Open up my pump. Now, every pump is finicky, so if it takes a little while, don't worry. But you'll see that I have this hose that goes down to the pump. And then I'm going to actually do, see if I can get my angle here. Do 1 or 2 pumps all the way up, all the way down. And then I'm going to see what my gauge is at. And my gauge is only a little bit below 40. Did anybody remember what this PSI was supposed to be at? Let me check. Inflate to 65 PSI. So though it feels kind of tough, it feels like a little squishy, but still pretty good. I'm going to need to do my squeeze test and know based off the pressure that's on my gauge. And then I'll know what each squeeze is. So I'm at 45. You can see here. See if I can realign my camera here. My apologies for being awkward about it. We'll do it back here. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. And I've gotten 5 pumps, 6 pumps, 8 pumps later. You can see that I am at, I don't know if you can see, it's a little hard in the angle, but my pump says I'm at 70 PSI, pounds per square inch. I feel like that's good. Then I'm going to squeeze my tire to make sure I know what 70 PSI feels like, just so I know that I'm in good stead. Easy peasy. I know I'm in good. I will unclamp my pump head, pull it off. Now that was quick. That was easy. If you don't know how to do that, that's no problem. There are demonstrations online. There's also 2 different types of valves. There's one that looks like this, which is a Presta valve, which you need to unscrew this tip. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's something that we need to look into. But there's the Presta valve, which is skinnier, and the Schrader valve, which is thicker. You should know that they operate a little bit differently. And most pumps are universal. You can see that this pump actually works for both the Presta and the Schrader. Okay, sorry to be so brief about it. That's the A. The B, very quickly, the be all end all is, am I squeezing my brakes and am I locking out? Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is, here's an example of a brake pad.
It's just rubber. It wears out over time. Now this has some wear marks, but it's not that bad. I want you to inspect your brake pads to make sure that they are hitting the rims and that when you're actually pulling the lever, that they're firmly hitting on both sides. And if not, take it to a bike shop, get it checked out. That's pretty much the be all end all of it. If it's not up to code, it's not going to stop you in an emergency. Take it to a bike shop, get it checked out. Now, the C is something that is also something that is your responsibility of doing, more or less once every month or 6 weeks or so. You're going to want to clean and lubricate your chain. So you're going to want a bottle of bike-specific chain lubricant, not WD-40, something that is chain lube. And this is a very, very basic thing to do of just cleaning your chain. It's a 4-step process. It's fairly easy. First step is wipe your chain down. So you can pedal backwards or, somehow just kind of get at the chain and just wipe it down and you'll see gunk start to come off. That's the first step. The second step, put the chain lube and try to get 1 drop of chain lube on every single link. Now this is my giant chain right here. This is my model. The idea is where the chain hits, where the 2 links meet and the rollers meet, you want the chain lube to get inside. And then you want the chain lube not just get inside, but flow through, and it flushes out the rust and the gunk. So the second step is put 1 drop pretty much at every link. And then the third step is wait 15 minutes, give it a bike ride, let it work its way through. And the fourth step is just taking your t-shirt again and wiping down the chain. Very, very basic. It's a 4-step process. Do it if you ever start to see rust, if you ever start to sound like you're riding with a family of mice. But this is something you're going to want to do to keep your chain nice and lubricated so it doesn't snap on you. And trust me, I've snapped a chain when riding. It's not fun. You can't ride and you're probably going to crash because you have 0 resistance. So make sure your chain's in good working order, which really, again, bottle of chain lube, an old t-shirt. Preferably it's something that's like a bike themed t-shirt. This is my Mattapan on Wheels t-shirt. I got the extra large so that I can get some extra rag out of it, but that's a good take. That's the ABCs in a nutshell. Very basic. Just while I have you, the last thing I'll say is that since we're focusing on the bike, nice to haves on a bike also to keep you nice and legal. Get some good lights, a red light for the back, a white light for the front. This needs to be visible up to 500 feet before an hour before sunset, an hour after sunrise. You can get by with a rear reflector if you need to, but it's got to be red in the back, white in the front. And you should probably have a red light. Legally, it's either a reflector or a light, but keep that in mind. And another thing you should really have on your bike too is get a nice bell so that you can make noise and be audible as you're passing people out there. So again, ABC check, air brakes, chain, and then make sure that everything else on the bike, including your bell and your lights, so that you can be predictable, is out there. That's the very, very brief, real quick synopsis, 10, 15 minutes of how to get your bike. But again, if you have any questions about it, your local bike shop is there, and you can always hit us up at massbike.org and we can check in. I think with that, I'll pass it back to the panel and see if you have any trivia questions.
Thank you so much, Galen. I see a couple questions that come up. Sophia, you want to?
Yep, there's a couple. The first one, Galen, is what kind of anti-theft devices should be used? What would you recommend at a minimum?
Good question. I mean, at the minimum is just a good lock, like a solid steel lock that's not a cable. That's probably a bar lock, like a U-lock. I don't have an example on hand, but Kryptonite is a great brand. Avis is a great brand. Something that can't be cut with a bolt cutter. And make sure when you lock it that you're locking the frame, as in not just the wheel. Some people will lock the wheel. The wheel can be unattached. They can steal the rest of the bike. Now, at least the frame, and at least lock it to something that is secure. A bike rack, preferably, but if you don't have a bike rack around, if you need to lock it to a bus sign or something like that, make sure that's firm in the ground. Give it a good shake, because some of them are not actually in the ground, and thieves can pull up the poles and they walk away with your bike. Now, for those of you who have a little bit more theft-prone areas, maybe you're locking somewhere there's have been some bike theft, you can lock your wheels. You can get a secondary lock for a cable that would go around your wheels, lock it to the frame, and then lock the frame with a solid steel U-lock to the bike rack. Or if you have a big enough U-lock, you can do the front wheel and the frame to the rack itself. However, typically thieves, if they're going to go for a bike, they go for the least locked bike. So as long as your bike is better locked than the one next to yours, you're probably in good stead. And then if you're extra paranoid, which is valid, you can also get security bolts. So one thing I didn't mention is that the way that these bolts lock onto the frame, this is just a quick release, which is actually something that if I was going to be in the wild, I could easily detach my wheel to do repairs or to put it in my car or something like that. Wouldn't need a wrench. But if you're worried about it, about your wheels getting stolen, and I have had wheels stolen, you can get security bolts for what's called the axle of the wheel, which would require a special tool in order to detach the front wheel or the back wheel or even the seat post. And one little thing you can see is I have a seat post here that requires a tool. It's a basic tool. It's a basic Allen wrench, but you can get security bolts for those as well. So thieves will steal wheels, thieves will steal seats, but it's very rare. Mostly they'll steal frames. So make sure your frame is nice and locked. And if you are ever out there with lights that are easily detachable, like I can just put this on my finger, then I can take it off my finger. Your lights are also prime targets for thieves. So if you have detachable lights, put them in your pocket, put them in your purse, put them in your bag, take them in with you. Because otherwise, if this is just on my bike as such, when I'm riding and I forget about it, unless it's a cheapo light like this one, this is just kind of a temporary light, but just taking the light off so that you have it with you is my recommendation. I get lights stolen quite a bit, especially if I'm leaving my bike downtown, because it's such an easy thing that thieves can steal. And yeah, it's just, the reality's out there. But I will say, we're not New York City. This is not that high prone to theft area. In the 20 years I've been biking in Boston, I've had 2 wheels stolen and 1 bike, which is sad. It is very, very sad, but it's also not the most theft prone area. So I don't want it to come across as you will get something stolen, but I do appreciate the fact that you can take some preventative steps to make sure that things don't get stolen, which again, security bolts for the wheels and for the seat, and don't leave your lights handy, but really it's just locking the frame to something that is secure and solid.
Okay, thank you, Galen. One more question. For the chain, is it necessary to clean and lube it at the beginning of each season, especially if your bike has been in the garage all winter?
Great question. Yes, and yes, and yes. You want to make sure, so the lubricant is good as a solvent because it gets that the rust out of it as well. But you can imagine, and let me just give you my wooden chain link. Let me just detail this. I really appreciate this because I can actually fully like pull it apart. So I can pull the pin out. So this is the pin, and this is like a large scale. And then I have my outer links, and then I have my inner links. And my inner links I can actually detach and have these little rollers. Think about this on a small scale of all the tens of thousands of rotations that you're going to have in your pedal strokes when you're just doing a normal bike ride. If there's a little bit of grit inside of here, and you can see that when I close it up, and close it up again, and then put the pin through to lock it all into place. If I even get a little bit of friction, if I can do this simply here, there we go. If I can get a little bit of friction inside of here, it's going to wear away the metal. And the goal of lubrication is actually to fill those gaps and fill where there's any sort of air pocket or rust, to replace it with lubricant. And that lubricant will last longer than air will, and it will prevent rust. So really, if it's been a while, even if you haven't been riding your bike, I do recommend just greasing it up, doing the same 4-step process: wipe, grease, wait, wipe again. And before the opening of the season, especially now, this day and age, when it's, if your bike's been in your garage all winter long and you're about to pull it out for a bike to work day, greasing your chain is key. If it's moving and you're doing your C check with the ABCs and you're able to shift and it doesn't feel like it's too clunky, you might be fine. But if you have the bottle of chain lube at home, or if you have the ability to go grab it from a bike shop, it's something that I would recommend doing. And keep in mind that WD-40 is not a lubricant, it's only a solvent. So if you are going to be getting rust out, you can use a solvent first, but you still need to be putting the lubricant in there so that it's actually getting in the insides of the chain, so that there's nice and smoothness for all the rotations.
Okay, great. Okay, Julia, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you, Galen.
You're welcome. Glad to be
Great.
here.
Thank you, Galen. You're always so good with all your information, and I know it helps me, and I've used your tips many, many times with my biking.
Excellent.
So thank you. And we will have your contact information at the end on a slide. So if anyone has any direct questions or wants to get in touch with Galen, that information will be there as well. So with that, I think I will turn it over to Rob. We're going to do 3 drawings of our prize wheel for people who are attended. And I hope you all paid attention to Galen's presentation, because some of the trivia will be coming from his presentation. So with that, all you, Rob.
All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the party. We're about to have a whole lot of fun. We've got a trivia game coming up. But first, we've got 3 Dunkin' Donuts gift cards to give away as prizes. Let's see who's going to win them. Let's spin our prize wheel, shall we? So let's go ahead and spin that wheel. Can everybody see the wheel? Got that coming up? Julie, do you mind highlighting me as a presenter?
Yep.
Oh. A second. Perfect.
Okay.
And all right.
Share your screen, Rob.
Is it?
Yep.
You're not seeing, you see the wheel? It's coming, it's up?
I can see the wheel. Yep, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, let's spin that first wheel and see who our first winner is. Round it goes, and first winner is that Andrew? No, Erica P.
Erica
Yes,
P.
congratulations, Erica P.
Thank you. I'll be getting in touch with you to send you your Dunkin' Donuts gift card. That's 1.
All right, let's spin that wheel again. Let's get a second winner. Here we go. And our next prize winner looks like, is it Charish? Yes, Charish B. Way to go, Charish. Congratulations.
Excellent. Congratulations. I will be getting in touch with you as well. And 1 more prize wheel drawing.
All right. 3rd time's the charm for someone. Let's find out who.
Absolutely.
All right, the wheel has been spun, and who won? It's George. All right, George, congratulations. You are also getting a Dunks gift card. All right, and everybody, just like that, that is our prize wheel portion of today's game.
Thanks,
that
Rob.
means it is officially trivia time. So everybody, all you got to do to go play trivia is you got to go to the website crowd.live from any secondary device. So if you're watching this game from a laptop or a desktop, you might want to go to crowd.live using a smartphone browser. And if you have Safari or Chrome, anything works. All you got to do is go to that website crowd.live and enter that code FZCF9. That's FZCF9. So yeah, just go on over to crowd.live. FCZF9 is how you get in the game. And yeah, we'll put that up there for you. So again, from any device, just head on over to that website, crowd.live, enter that 5-letter character code FZ. That's F as in Frank, Z as in zebra, C as in Charlie, F as in Frank, Niner. Yeah, go on and join the game. We've got a 15-question trivia game. Got a prize for the winner at the end. Julie, what was our prize again for our winner today?
$50 Amazon gift card.
That's right, a $50 Amazon gift card. Yeah. So, all right, we've got 11 players, 13 players. All right, the numbers are jumping up. Just 1 more minute to join the game. Everybody, 60-second countdown is on. Again, if you want to be the one to join the fun, just go to crowd.live, FZCF9. And as you're doing that, basically, I'll explain how the game works. I'm going to ask a trivia question. After I'm done, you're going to get 20 seconds to click on one of 4 multiple choice answers. So yeah, those multiple choice answers are going to pop up right there on your device. So yeah, the faster you click, the more you score. And if you get a question wrong, don't worry about it. You won't lose any points or anything like that. Actually, no, I believe I turned off the countdown timer. So every question, the first 3 questions are each worth 100 points. Second questions are the second 3 questions are going to be worth 200 points, 300 points, 400 points, and so on. And I will just confirm with you that yes, there is no penalty for wrong answers whatsoever. So if you don't know an answer, take a guess. It doesn't hurt. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So again, there's no penalties for wrong answers. So if you don't know an answer, make an educated guess. Because sometimes if you read through the wrong answers, read through all the choices, the correct answer may become a little bit more obvious. So with that said, let's start the fun with question number 1. Everybody, let's start the game. We're going to have a 5-second countdown come up, and your first choice, your first question is going to pop up. So here we go. All right, first question is up. In addition to a white headlight in the front, cyclists, when riding at night, must also use a rear light or reflector. That is what color? Players, here come your choices. 20 seconds is on the clock. Good luck. Again, the question is, in addition to a white headlight in the front, cyclists, when riding at night, must also use a rear light or reflector. That is what color? There's your 4 choices. Again, click on the correct answer, you get points. Click on the incorrect answer, not so much. Hopefully all you're paying attention to our excellent presentation earlier. And with that said, time is up, and everybody who said C, that's right, C, red, you're getting points because C was the correct answer. And just like that, that is the way the game is played. Hope you had fun with question number 1. Let's do it again. Question number 2, second question coming up, players. This time, I need you to tell me the following. In the classic film, The Wizard of Oz, what is the name of Dorothy's bicycle riding neighbor best known for her strict demeanor? Again, in the classic film, The Wizard of Oz, what is the name of Dorothy's bicycle riding neighbor best known for her strict demeanor? Here come your choices. What is the name of that character? You might recognize from the picture right there. What is the name of that famous strict demeanored bicycle riding character? Classic film, Wizard of Oz. All right, 5 seconds left. Get your choices in, players. 3, 2, 1. Time is up just like that. And we're giving points to everybody that knew the correct answer was in fact B, Miss Gulch. That's right, Miss Gulch was the name of, that mean old neighbor that ended up riding the bike and who ended up later becoming the Wicked Witch of the West in Dorothy's Dream or sequence, or however you want to call it with that movie. But yes, that's right. Miss Gulch, also the same actress who played the Wicked Witch of the West. Points going to you. If you got it, let's do it again. Everybody follow me. Here comes question number 3. And this time, players, I need you to tell me with 2 wheels and 2 brakes on every bicycle, which brake is the stronger brake that will stop you more quickly. Again, you have 2 wheels and 2 brakes on every bicycle. Which brake is the stronger brake that will stop you more quickly? Here come your choices. Again, A, B, C, or D, with 2 wheels and 2 brakes on every bicycle. Which brake is the stronger brake that will stop you more quickly? All right, and timer is up, and points are going out to everybody that said C, the coffee brake. No, I'm kidding, it's the front brake. That's right, D, the front brake. Way to go if you got it, way to go if you knew. That's right. Majority of the stopping power in your bicycle, that all rests on the forward momentum being stopped by that front caliper, by that front brake. So with that, 3 questions are done. Hope you're having fun. Let's keep it going. Question number 4, it's your next chance to score. Players, this time I got a question and I need you to tell me which of the following celebrities, that's right, which of the following celebrities was arrested in 2014 following an incident that began with his receiving a citation for riding his bicycle the wrong way down 5th Avenue in New York City. That's right, which of the following celebrities was arrested in 2014? Your choices have popped up, 20 seconds on the clock. That's right, arrested following an incident that started with him receiving a citation for riding his bicycle the wrong way down 5th Avenue in New York City. Question number 4. All right, everybody, and just like that, once again, time is up and you're getting points. If you in 2014, it was none other than Alec Baldwin. That's right, Alec Baldwin received a citation for riding down 5th Avenue the wrong way. And when the Police officers brought him in because they didn't recognize him and he didn't have ID. He got very, very angry and ended up being formally arrested. So there you go. Question number 4. That's right. Alec Baldwin. Let's do one more question and take a quick break and doing a scoring update. Everybody look alive because here comes question number 5. Next question up. Founded in 1885, what is the name of the Italian bicycle manufacturer that is the oldest manufacturing company, is the oldest bicycle manufacturing company in the world? 4 choices coming up. Again, 1885 was the founding date. Which of the following is the Italian bicycle manufacturer that is the oldest company manufacturing bicycles in the world? Question number 5. Which one of these is the correct answer? All right, and just like that, everybody, time is up on question number 5. And points are going out to you if you knew it was actually C, Bianchi. Lamborghini is a motor car developer, is a motor car brand. DeLonghi, they make coffee machines. Fusilli, that's that little spiral pasta that you get. Yes, Bianchi, that's right. Bianchi is the name of the bicycle manufacturer. And just like that, we are done with 5 questions. We got a 15-question game for you, so that means we are a third of the way through. Let's take a look at the scoreboard right now. And right now, we've got Shreyas currently with 700 points. Ian and Carol, also Leslie, 4 players tied with 700 points, but with more chances to score coming up. And as the point values increase as we continue to play, this is still very much anybody's game. So everybody take a second, check your name on the scoreboard, see how you're doing. And don't worry if you're not at the top of the scoreboard, there are plenty more chances to score. Starting with this one right here. Let's keep it going. Question number 6 is coming up next, players. I want you to tell me, which of the following is not true when riding on a street with a designated bike lane? Again, you're going to get choices coming up. Only 3 choices this time. I need you to choose which of the following is not true. Which of the following is not true when riding on a street with a designated bike lane? Here come your choices. A, B, or C. Which of the following is not true? All right, players, time is just about up. Get your choices in. And the correct answer, time is up, is actually B. Bikes must stay in bikes lane at all times. Not true. If the bike lane is blocked, you are allowed to move it. However, it is recommended that you stay in the bike lane as often as possible so cars know where you might be. And yeah, you're a little more predictable that way. So that's question number 6. We're keeping it going. Lucky number 7 for hope. Some of you, I hope. Number 7 coming up. And yeah, players, I want you to tell me, fill in the blank to complete the lyrics of the song Bicycle Race by Queen. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. Blank. Fill in the blank again. Which one of these 4 choices completes the song? Which one of these? Yeah, which one of these lyrics choices? A, B, C, or D. Again, I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. There's your 4 choices. Which one completes the song, the classic hit, Bicycle Race by none other than Queen? Time is almost up, players. Get those choices in. All right, and everybody got their votes in, and most players went with A. That's right, the correct answer. I want to ride it where I like. Yes, that is the correct answer. Yeah, get on your bikes and ride. That's question number 7. Let's do it again. Hope you feel great. Here comes question number 8. It's the Ocho. What does ABC stand for when it comes to bike maintenance? Everybody should get this one. What does ABC stand for when it comes to bike maintenance? Here come your choices, players. A, B, C, what does it stand for when we're talking about, yeah, bike maintenance? All right, and just like that, time is up. And you got points if you said either B or D, air brakes chain, because it was the same thing in both. So if you said A or if you said B or D, you got the points. Because yes, air brakes chain, A, B, C, that's correct. Yes. Yes, Kelly, B and D were both the same. You get to pick either one to score the points. Just a little way to have fun with everyone. But yeah, that's question number 8. Let's do it again. Question number 9, next question up. Which of the following artists released a single in 2017 featuring Jay-Z and Tyler, the Creator, called Biking, that metaphorically describes the cycle of life while making references to bicycles and cyclists? Question number 9, again, which of the following artists released a single in 2017 featuring Jay-Z and Tyler, the Creator, called Biking? Here come your choices. Which one is the correct answer? You're going to get 300 points if you get this one right. Again, released a single titled Biking, metaphorically describes the cycle of life while making references to bicycles and cyclists, featuring Jay-Z, Tyler, the Creator. Players, you have 4 seconds left to pick one of 4 choices, and you're getting points if you pick the correct answer. And this one was C, Frank Ocean. That's right, Frank Ocean, alongside Jay-Z, Tyler, the Creator, had the song Biking. And it's very clever. If there are some explicit lyrics, so if you find those objectionable, it may not be your favorite song, but it definitely is a very clever way, cleverly done for sure. Just like that, we're going to do it again with question number 10. Everybody, next question of the game. Which of the following choices is the primary cause behind the largest number of bike crashes? Again, question number 10. Which of the following choices is the primary cause behind the largest number of bike crashes? Let's see if you know this one. Question number 10. Again, which of the following is the primary cause behind the largest number of bike crashes? All right, and just like that, time is up. And the correct answer here is actually C, biker lost control. That's right, C, biker lost control. And Galen, if you could maybe talk just a little bit about that. I don't remember that from the presentation, but you could maybe touch on that for our guests a little bit.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think the be all and all is that if you don't have brakes, you lose control. If your chain snaps, you lose control. And if you have a flat tire, you lose control because you don't have the resistance of the tire on the ground. So we're focusing on maintenance as a preventative measure to avoid crashes. The far majority of crashes that are reported, I should say, that are like $100 in damage that police reports come with, do involve some sort of property damage. But I don't know, raise your hand in your own Zoom world if you've ever crashed your bike just by being out there, slipped on some leaves, went off a pothole and kind of landed wrong. Yeah, so that's by far, when you're doing self-surveys out there, as to why people are actually crashing. What's really going on is it's either a maintenance issue and it loses control that way, or it's some sort of road or pathway condition issue to lose control. So it was a broad, vague question, but I bring it out to mention that though some of the most severe crashes may involve traffic and car drivers and truck drivers, the most common of crashes really are just cyclists out there on their own. So the ABC check was a way to kind of instill a little bit of that knowledge to keep you riding safer and smarter and smoother out there.
Thanks, Galen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Galen. Appreciate that. We're going to move on to the last third of the game real quick. We're going to take a look at the leaderboard. We have Carol right now on top with 2,000 points. Ian in second place. Doug G in third place, tied with Francis with 1,700. But it's still a close game, and the point values are only going up from here as we go into our final 5. So everybody, let's keep rolling. Next question, number 11. Here we go. Next question of the game. Players, I need you to tell me the following. Which of the following former Full House cast members first appeared in the 1986 BMX action film Rad, alongside Talia Shire and Ray Walston? Question number 11. That's right. Which of the following Full House cast members first appeared in that 1986 movie Rad, the BMX cycling movie? There's your 4 choices. That's right. Which former Full House cast member first appeared in that 1986 BMX action flick? All right, and time is up, and you're getting points if you knew the correct answer was a very young, almost near teenage. I believe she was still a teenager at the time. Lori Loughlin, that's right. Aunt Becky, if you remember. That's right. Appeared in that movie Rad as one of the main teenage characters. And she was, I believe, 16 or 17 at the time, because showing up like in her early 20s in Full House. I gotta check those dates for sure, but yeah, question number 11, that movie Rad. It's a rad movie. No, seriously, a lot of fun, great bike. If you're interested in like the BMX and all the different like BMX stunts, you know, it's dated. It's the 80s, but it's a lot of fun for sure. Let's keep moving. Question number 12. Players, next question coming up, and I need you to tell me where on a bicycle would you find the recommended amount of where'd you find the recommended amount of air pressure, excuse me, to put in your tires? Again, where on that bicycle would you find the recommended amount of air pressure to put in your tires? Here come your choices, players. 20 seconds are on the clock. Good luck. Again, where on a bicycle would you find the recommended amount of air pressure to put in your tires? All right, and just like that, question number 12, it's a dozen. And just like that, players are getting points if you knew it was D, written or embossed on the tire. That's right, directly on the tire is where the PSI rating, as Galen had showed us earlier, is right there, always on the tire. Holds true for your car tires as well, just throwing that out there. But no, this is bike month, so we're talking about bike tires. And yeah, right there on it. And whether it's a tire with a Presta valve or a Schrader valve, it's always going to have right there on the rim, on the edge, on the sidewall of the tire. Question number 13. Let's see what we got. Question number 13 coming up, players. This time, what is the title of the 2006 romantic comedy directed by Joe and Anthony Russo that stars Owen Wilson as an unemployed cycling enthusiast that moves in with his recently married friends for an extended period of time? Question number 13, again, looking for the title of a movie starring Owen Wilson. Here come your choices. As an unemployed cycling enthusiast moves in with his recently married friends for an extended period of time. Question number 13 is one of these four, and you will score only if you pick the correct one. Question number 13. All right, and just like that, once again, time is up. And the correct answer is actually A. That's right, A, You, Me, and Dupree is the title of that film. Of course, You and Me being, I think it was Matt Dillon and Kate Hudson were the newlywed couple. And then, yeah, their friend Dupree, played by none other than the lovable Owen Wilson. Question number 14 coming up next. Players, this is a big one. Nicknamed the American Race, what is the name given to the Olympic cycling event that is a team relay race where the goal for each team is to complete as many laps as possible? Question number 14 is nicknamed the American Race. What is the name given to that Olympic cycling event? It's a cycling relay. You can see a picture of it right there. Here come your four choices. Which one is the correct answer? All right, time is almost up. And all right, so this is interesting. It actually got its name from the arena where the event was first held, that being New York City's Madison Square Garden. So that typical type of race is called the Madison. B, Madison got the points. If you selected Madison, if you guessed Madison, you knew Madison, that got you points. If not, oh, well, it's okay. We got one more question left, just one. Hope you've been having fun. I know I have. Last question of the game, players. Question number 15. Which tab on eCommuter on which tab on eCommuter can you find the best route to bike to work? On your eCommuter website, yeah, which tab finds you the best route to bike to work? Here come your choices. A, B, C, or D. Again, which tab on eCommuter? On which tab can you find the best route to bike to work? And points are going out to everybody. This is only a 1-point bonus question at the end. So if you got it wrong, don't worry. But if you got it right, you got that one bonus point. Could be a tiebreaker. It's C, things to do. Things to do. And yeah, we can see here, only 3 players got that one right. So again, if you're on eCommuter and you're using eCommuter, and I'm sure Julie and everybody can tell you a little bit more about the specifics about the commute challenge, commute match, commute calendar, but things to do, amongst those things to do is planning a bike route to work. And with that, we are done, everybody. Hope you had some fun. And our big winner today with a grand total of 3,800 points is Carol. Congratulations, Carol. You are so smart. You are the winner of today's game. Congratulations. You're getting that $50 Amazon gift card. Everybody give a big round of applause. Give a shout out in the chat to Carol. Thank you so much. And with that, it's trivia time. Trivia time is over. Thank you so much, everybody, for having me. Thank you once again for all coming and playing. My name is Rob, and I'm the host of Smart Trivia. That's smrt.fun if you ever want to check out what else we're up to these days. So thank you so much for being a part of this. And yeah, can't wait to see you all again next time.
Rob, thank you so, so much. You were fantastic once again. Carol will get in touch with you to get you your gift card. So congratulations. Thank you for everyone for playing. Once again, thank you, Galen and Rob, for celebrating Bike Month with us. And thank you for all the participants for joining today. Again, my name is Julie Quinn. If you have any questions or comments about today's webinar or any transportation questions, you can reply to our follow-up email and your commuter services manager will get in touch with you. Remember to join the Maze Bike Challenge in eCommuter. It runs through May 31st. Happy biking, everyone. Have a great afternoon, and we hope to see you on one of our future webinars. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye, everybody.